My beloved child, you were not supposed to see this message by accident. I summoned you here, not through noise or chance, but through every tear you've hidden, every silent prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. You have reached the edge of something divine, and I could not let you cross it without speaking to you first. Listen to me. Your test is over. Yes, the season of proving, of pressing, of walking through fire, it has reached its conclusion. You may not feel it yet, but heaven already knows. The page has turned. The shift has begun. And the storm that once stood over you like a wall is breaking apart before your very eyes. You've been asking, God, how much longer? And while the world gave you silence, I was working behind it. I wasn't ignoring your cries. I was completing the blueprint. Every delay was not a denial. It was a design. And now the gates I kept sealed for your protection are unlocking. Don't skip this moment. You are standing on holy ground, in the middle of a divine declaration. Your test is over today. What you thought was the end of your strength was the beginning of my intervention. You thought you were losing everything, but I was removing what could not go with you into your next season. Stay till the end, because what I'm revealing next will break chains you've lived with for years. You've grown weary pretending to be okay. You've worn the mask of strength while your soul was collapsing quietly. I saw that. I saw you walk into rooms with a smile, then fall apart behind closed doors. And I say this now with love that no human can give. I was there. Every time. You never failed this test. You passed it in ways no one could see. You loved when it cost you everything. You held on when letting go would have been easier. You forgave when bitterness begged to stay. And I, your God, have seen it all. And now comes the reward. Heaven is shifting around you. What was heavy is lifting. What was silent is now speaking. What was locked is opening. Do not underestimate what's happening in this moment. The wind of my spirit is moving through your house, your family, your finances, your body, even now. You may feel a trembling. That is not fear, that is glory waking up inside of you. Something huge is waiting for you. Don't scroll past your moment of release. Let your spirit feel what your mind doesn't yet understand. Freedom is entering your atmosphere. And what comes next will explain everything. The silence you endured was never neglect. It was preparation. While you waited, I was building what words couldn't explain. You assumed I was distant because nothing around you was changing, but I was closer than ever, shaping things you couldn't see, arranging moments that would make sense only when the full picture unfolded. You have come farther than you realize. What broke others didn't break you. What crushed spirits left yours still reaching, still hoping. You may not have seen the fruit yet, but I saw the roots taking hold deep within. That quiet strength, the courage to believe without applause, that's what caught my eye. Don't skip this moment. You're standing in the doorway of clarity. What's been confusing you will soon be clear. The closed doors, the relationships that faded, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, they weren't rejections. They were redirections. I wasn't keeping you from what was good. I was preserving you for what was right. And now the timing has aligned. Stay till the end, because what I'm releasing into your life is bigger than your last loss. I saw it'd cause you to keep walking. The emotional weight, the mental fatigue, the private battles. While others measured your strength by your smile, I measured it by your persistence. You weren't just surviving. You were being refined. And now, refinement turns to reward. You're about to step into a season where answers come faster than the questions, where peace enters rooms you once cried in, where you wake up and no longer dread the day ahead. You'll recognize my fingerprints, not because things get easier, but because they start aligning in a way only I could have orchestrated. Something huge is waiting for you. This is the hour when what was delayed is delivered. The things you prayed for through tears are being answered in fullness. And not just answered, multiplied. This isn't hype. It's not emotion. It's heaven's announcement over your life. You have crossed the line between testing and revealing. Now you will see what I saw in you all along. The reason you were tested wasn't punishment. It was because I trusted you with something sacred. And now, what was hidden will be unveiled. What was forming will now flourish. Remain open. The shift has already begun. Here is something I need you to understand. Something I've been waiting for the right moment to reveal. What you're walking into was written long before your struggle began. This isn't just a turning point. It's a fulfillment. Every unseen moment of endurance was not only seen, it was counted, measured, and woven into this very hour. You wondered why I was silent when your world was shaking. I was not absent. I was steadying what you didn't even know was about to fall. While you prayed for answers, I was removing what would have sabotaged your future. You thought things were being taken, but I was actually making space. Do not hurry away, because what I say next is the reason your heart has felt that quiet pull for days. There's been a stirring in your spirit that you couldn't explain. A sense that something is close, that something is shifting. That's because you're standing in the moment I've been preparing you for. The weight is lifting. Not just emotionally, spiritually. A pressure you've carried for years is coming off of you, permanently. This isn't about fixing what's broken. This is about stepping into what's been waiting. You have felt stretched thin, exhausted by the process, confused by the long path. But I was never just preparing the blessing for you. I was preparing you for the blessing. And now, what once felt like delay will soon be seen as divine timing. Stay till the end, because what's unfolding next will feel like a door you didn't even know existed suddenly opening wide. You will find rest again. Not just physical, but the deep, soul-level rest that brings peace no matter what surrounds you. You won't have to explain how it happened. You'll just know. Something shifted. The things that used to weigh you down won't have access to you anymore. Don't scroll. This moment carries more than comfort. It carries alignment. You are not going backward. You are not circling the same mountain. You are advancing into something that's been waiting for your obedience, your surrender, your resilience to mature. It's time. The chapter is turning, and everything ahead has already been touched by my hand. You're entering territory that once seemed unreachable. Not because the path suddenly cleared, but because the strength within you is finally aligned with what I set ahead. This isn't just a change in your surroundings. It's a divine release from everything that once defined your limits. You spent seasons carrying responsibilities that drained you, holding up others, while no one noticed your own hands trembling. That sacrifice did not disappear into the void. It echoed into the heavenlies, and now the response is here. What's coming isn't random relief, it's tailored restoration. There are moments that mark a life forever. This is one of them. You may not feel different yet, but something in the atmosphere has shifted. Conversations will start to change. What resisted you will soften. What seemed impossible will begin to form with ease. Stay close. There's something sacred unfolding. You're not just being blessed, you're being repositioned. Where you once walked overlooked, you will now be sought. Where you felt invisible, favor will locate you. Not because you chased it, but because you endured the quiet work I was doing inside you. Don't skip this. What I've orchestrated requires your full attention, because when it starts, it won't be subtle. It will feel like doors you didn't knock on swinging wide, like people you never called reaching out, like answers arriving before you finish asking. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine unveiling. You've been prepared for impact. What's flowing toward you now is not compensation, it's fulfillment. There is a difference. One pays you back. The other ushers you forward. I'm not repaying you. I'm revealing what you were always meant to carry. Something huge is waiting for you. Not around the corner. Within this very moment. It's not distant. It's not delayed. It's descending. Let go of what no longer fits. The identity you wore in the test cannot follow you into the testimony. I'm not calling you forward to improve you. I'm calling you forward to reveal you. And now, the revealing begins. The atmosphere around you has already begun responding. You may not have noticed the change, but heaven has. There is movement taking place in dimensions you haven't yet stepped into. Alignments forming where there was confusion. Breakthroughs gathering where there was resistance. What once drained you will soon fuel you. You've been misjudged by your process, misunderstood during your becoming. But I never measured you by appearances. I saw the unseen weight you carried and how you refused to let it stop your forward motion. That perseverance was not unnoticed. It was sacred. Now, everything hidden within you is rising to the surface. You will begin to speak differently, think differently, move differently. Not out of effort, but because I'm awakening the version of you that's been forming in silence. This is not a reinvention. It's a resurrection. What I placed in you from the beginning is coming alive. Stay until the final word. You're closer than you know to stepping into the version of your life you've only glimpsed in dreams. Do not rush through this moment. Let the stillness speak. Let your heart recognize the presence that's wrapping around you like a quiet wind. This is not just peace. This is placement. You're being positioned without striving, without forcing, without baiting. Doors will respond to you now because you carry what was once hidden. There are people who left, seasons that closed, opportunities that disappeared, and you question why I allowed it. But I was not subtracting. I was refining the space around you for something that could only arrive when you were ready to hold it. And now, you're ready. Don't scroll away. The next step doesn't depend on what you do, it depends on what you understand. This is the hour where your awareness catches up with my promise. The veil is lifting. The hesitation is breaking. The path is clearing. Something irreversible has begun. Not emotional. Not imaginary. Eternal. You are no longer the one who was waiting. You are now the one who is walking. And what you walk into next carries the weight of every yes you ever whispered when no one else was watching. You've come through the fire, and now you stand in the rain of promise. But this moment is not just about what you receive. It's about what you release. If you've prayed, Lord, use me, this is how I'm answering you now. Support this divine mission, not just with words but with seed. As you give, you're not funding a message. You're sowing into the deliverance of souls, the breaking of strongholds, the healing of hearts. Heaven is watching, and your generosity becomes oil that keeps this fire burning across the nations. Let your giving become worship. As rivers flow from the altar of your heart, I will pour out abundance over your life and household. The link is in the video description. Sow boldly, give freely, bless eternally. Act now. There's something I've been holding until your heart could carry the weight of it. a truth I couldn't unveil until your spirit was steady. It's this: your struggle wasn't just endured, it was seen as sacred. Not a delay, not a punishment, a passage, and you crossed it. This moment is not about survival anymore. It's about stepping into your original assignment. You weren't created to barely get by. The fire wasn't meant to burn you, but to forge you. And now, what remained after the burning, that is who you truly are. The tests did not strip your value. They revealed it. Everything that once intimidated you is losing power right now. Stay present. Don't drift. What you feel stirring isn't a passing moment. It's a shift in identity. You're not the same person who entered that storm. You've grown in ways your mind hasn't caught up with yet. But your spirit knows, and it's ready. What's opening to you now requires no validation. You will not have to prove yourself in this next place. The weight of what's been unlocked is not contingent on recognition. It's already yours. You'll find favor flowing through unexpected places. You'll sense peace where there used to be fear. This is what it feels like when heaven goes ahead of you. Don't skip what your soul has been needing to hear. The fight for your future has already been won, not by your might, but by your agreement. You stopped chasing what wasn't yours, and now what belongs to you is arriving without resistance. This isn't about fixing your past. It's about fulfilling your future. What once echoed as loss is now releasing purpose. What once made you question everything will soon affirm why you had to endure. I am not just bringing closure. I'm opening legacy. And you're about to live in the overflow of promises that were set in motion long before your first disappointment. Let this settle into your heart. You are not behind. You are precisely on time for what I've aligned. The season you're entering will feel unfamiliar not because it's foreign, but because it's finally yours. You will no longer have to adjust your dreams to survive the moment. The moment is adjusting to make room for what I planted in you long ago. And now, the room is ready. Everything that once made you question your path is about to reveal why it had to happen that way. You've waited long enough without clarity, walking through seasons that felt unfinished, conversations that ended without answers. But nothing was left undone. I was just waiting for the exact moment to reveal what was hidden in plain sight. What I'm doing now won't feel forced. It will feel familiar, like something you always knew was coming but couldn't explain. This moment is not built on momentum. It's built on maturity. The maturity that comes from loss, from release, from learning how to trust when nothing made sense. That wisdom is what makes you dangerous now, not to people, but to everything that tried to keep you bound. What's rising in you will no longer shrink in the presence of doubt. I've watched you second-guess the very things I placed in you, your voice, your vision, your value. But the version of you that once questioned every step is being replaced by one that simply moves. Moves with clarity. Moves with certainty. Moves without apology. Stay with me. You need to hear this. You are not waiting for confirmation anymore. You are becoming the confirmation for others. Your journey, your healing, your unshakable peace will become evidence that I was involved the entire time. This is how I redeem seasons, not by replacing them, but by making them necessary. Don't rush past this. What you carry now is weighty. It commands rooms. It shifts environments. And it doesn't need validation to do so. Where you're going, you won't be striving for opportunities. They will begin to find you. Not because of influence, but because of alignment. What's coming to you has your name on it. It was never meant for anyone else. And now, it's been released. This is where cycles break, not because you fought harder, but because I declared an end. This is where you begin again, not from scratch but from strength. You've grown into the person this future was waiting for. It's not a new season. It's a new reality. Step into it fully. There's a sound heaven hears before the breakthrough hits the earth. It's the sound of readiness. Not noise, not desperation, but alignment. And that sound just came from your spirit. You're not in transition anymore. You've crossed over. A shift isn't coming, it's already present. Look around you with new eyes. The atmosphere has changed, even if circumstances haven't caught up yet. What's arriving isn't delayed, it's deliberate. And now that you've stepped into agreement, nothing can halt the delivery. Pause and take this in. Your waiting didn't just lead to something better, it transformed who you are. You didn't survive to stay silent. What I've done inside you is not meant to be hidden. You will carry presence into places where people forgot how to hope. You will speak life where weariness has silenced voices. You're not coming out the same, you're coming out carrying answers. Stay engaged. You're standing in the middle of release. There are moments that mark a life forever. This is one of them. What I'm unfolding now has been stored, sealed, protected. You weren't being punished during the pause. You were being protected from receiving prematurely. And now, the doors are opening because you're finally ready to sustain what's behind them. Don't lose focus. What I'm doing in you is deeper than fulfillment. It's fulfillment with permanence. What's coming will not be temporary. This time it will last. This time, you won't have to wonder if it will be taken away. I'm not placing you in a fragile blessing. I'm positioning you in an unshakable calling. What I reveal through you will be rooted in authority, not appearance. The change won't just happen around you. It will happen through you. People will begin to see light where they once saw loss. Not because you explain it, but because you embody it. This is what glory looks like after the fire, not loud, but undeniable. You've been entrusted with impact. And from this moment forward, your presence will carry proof. Everything I've been speaking over your life is beginning to manifest in dimensions beyond your understanding. You've stepped into an hour where acceleration meets completion. What used to take years will now take moments, not because the process is skipped, but because your posture is finally aligned with my pace. You're not being rushed, you're being released. This isn't about striving anymore. You've already done the deep work. You've surrendered in silence, obeyed without recognition, endured without applause. That posture has opened realms of favor that effort could never unlock. You'll begin to notice doors respond before you knock. Stay focused. There's movement unfolding that will make sense only in hindsight. You're not just being invited into purpose. You're being positioned to become the answer to problems others couldn't solve. Where systems failed, you'll bring strategy. Where hearts gave up, you'll carry restoration. There's no need to explain the shift. Let your fruit speak. People around you won't understand the grace you walk in. That's okay. This was never meant to be recognized by the crowd. It was designed to be confirmed in the spirit. The evidence won't be in applause. It will be in transformation. Let this truth settle. The season you're in now was not a coincidence. It was a culmination. Every delay, every redirection, every moment of silence was working together to set this divine sequence in motion. You didn't lose time. You gained depth. You didn't miss your moment. You were matured for it. Don't look back. You're not returning to restore what was. You're moving forward to reveal what never existed until now. What you're about to build hasn't been seen before. The blueprint is not borrowed, it's breathed. You won't need to mimic what others have done. I'm giving you original instruction, strategy born in the secret place. Keep listening. The clarity you need is already finding its way to you. This is the space where old labels fall off. You're no longer limited by what they called you. You're being named by what I placed in you before the world ever tried to define you. And now, walk as the one I've revealed, not the one they remember. Here's a final revelation I've reserved for this very moment, not because it wasn't ready before, but because your spirit is now prepared to receive it fully. The chapter you've been living in is not just closing. It's being sealed with authority. What was once a test is now a testimony. What was once paid hath become a platform. You're no longer being restored to who you were. You're rising into who you were always meant to become. This isn't about returning to a former version of life. I'm not reviving old dreams. I'm awakening divine blueprints that were hidden for this appointed time. What's coming to life within you now was protected for impact. It couldn't be right. It had to arrive when your heart was ready and your ears can truly hear. Let this be your confirmation. You made it. Not because the road was easy, but because your obedience outlasted your opposition. I saw every moment you wanted to give up but didn't. I heard every whisper of faith that cracked through your tears. I recorded every step you took forward, even when fear was louder than confidence. And now the reward will not be subtle. It will be unmistakable. This is the place where cycles break for good. Lot paused, ended. Lot postponed, dismantled. The voices that kept you small will fall silent. The accusations that haunted your peace will dissolve in the presence of my voice. You're not just walking in favor. You're walking in inheritance. I've positioned angels to surround the new territory you're entering. I've already scattered the plans of the enemy before they even reach your door. The future is not a mystery to me. I've written it with intentionality, and every line carries your name. So breathe. Rest. Step forward in quiet confidence. What I've started, I will complete. What I've promised, I will perform. And what I've spoken over you, no force in heaven or on earth can reverse. This is your appointed moment. Your test is over. Your oil is fresh. Your calling is confirmed. Amen. You've reached the end of the test, but the beginning of something eternal. You are not only the one receiving breakthrough, you are now the vessel through which I will release breakthrough to others. You've cried, God, I want to be part of something bigger. This is that moment. As you support this mission, you become part of the wind carrying my word to the weary, the broken, and the forgotten. Your gift today isn't small. It's a spark that ignites healing across hearts. Give like you've already seen the harvest. There's open heaven over your offering. The PayPal link is in the video description. Move now, and watch me move with power in your life. Obey with boldness. My child, if this word stirred your soul and you know deep within, your test is over today, then I ask you, rise and let heaven see your response. Touch that hype button not as a trend, but as a testimony. It's not just a feature, it's a flame. As you hike this video, you're saying, Lord, I receive this word, and I will not return to the place you've delivered me from. And if this spoke directly to your heart, then like it. Let the heavens and the outer earth both witness your faith in motion. Now, my beloved, once this message ends, declare it in the comments below. My test is over, and my testimony begins now. Write it with boldness. Speak it like prophecy. Let your words echo what just broke in the spirit. Your declaration isn't for likes. It's for legacy. Others will see your words and find the courage to believe for their own breakthrough. You've waited for messages that don't just speak to you but speak through you, and now you found them. Subscribe not because of a voice, but because of my voice speaking through this channel to your heart. Let this be your altar of encounter, your well of refreshing. I am calling you to walk with me daily, and these messages will meet you right where you are. Hit subscribe, turn the bell on, and let every word that comes forth from this place mark you deeply. You didn't find this channel. I brought you here. Now stay. Amen.